Do trusts work for your railroad retirement? Welcome everyone to the Railroad Retirement Whiteboard. My name is John McNamara of Highball Advisors, and today's topic we're going to talk about leaving your assets, beneficiaries, that type of thing. When you pass on, what to do with it, how do you want to transfer that wealth that you've accumulated through years onto the, people that are important to you, right? So one of the ways we do it is, people talk about trusts, and the title of this is Stop Trusting Trusts, right? So there was a big change in legislation that came out in 2019, but it's impacted 2020 and going forward. That's called the Secure Act. All right, and that's going to have an effect on trust. So let's just take a step back and learn a little bit why people use trusts and what they're there for, right? So, why do you need a trust, right? That's kind of a buzzword. What are you, a Rockefeller? You need a trust? No, right? So there's reasons to have the trust and there's reasons not to have the trust. So the reasons to have is control, right? Maybe you have some minor children and you want to leave them assets, retirement assets. Right, well, they're minors. You don't want to leave a substantial amount of money to an 8-year-old. That's not a good idea. So, that's a trust idea. Okay, maybe they're disabled. Maybe you have disabled offspring, or maybe special needs individuals, or even just people that you feel, if I leave them a lot of money, they're going to blow it, right? They're unsophisticated around money. So that's another. So it's a control issue, right? But, a lot of people think of trust. Well, I'll trust and I'll avoid taxes. Well, that's not happening anymore, right? It's very, very rare that you can ever do that with taxes, right? So just to give you an example, right? So income that comes out of a trust is taxed at 37% on anything over, $12,950. So just to give you some comparison to that, if you were married and filed jointly, before you hit the 37% tax rate, you have to make $622,050, right? So there's no tax advantage to putting your retirement assets in a trust, right, for the beneficiary. From a tax, control is something else, right? So let's talk about it. So this is why you don't need a trust. Once I mentioned it, right, the Secure Act. And what did that do? What did the Secure Act do? It got rid of the Stretch IRA. Right? So you used to be able to stretch out the IRA and take the RMDs way over time. Well, now there's a 10-year rule, right? That means when you inherit an IRA, let's say if your father passed or somebody else and they inherit an IRA, they have to get rid of that money out of that IRA in 10 years. All right? It's the 10-year rule, right? Because the government wants their money. Okay? So there's no way to hide from it. You're just going to have to pay the taxes. And depending upon that individual's tax rate, that's what they're going to be taxed at, right, as income, okay, when they take distributions out of the IRA. So that's the 10-year rule, right? So even trusts are affected by the 10-year rule. You put the money into a trust, trusts have to get it out in 10 years also. So, why am I doing this again? So let's just wrap it up here, right? This is just kind of to keep it simple when it comes to beneficiaries and trying not to complicate anything, right? You just put the beneficiaries on the IRA. They have the 10-year rule, right? It's very streamlined, right? No legal bills, right? No lawyers sophisticated. Oh, you need the trust, that type of thing, right? Now we're not talking about control. Control's a separate issue. If you're talking about taxes, right? You don't need the trust, okay? No administration that comes with a trust, right? To somebody to administer a trust, that costs more money. So at the end of the day, if you have mature adults that you're leaving the money to, right, that can handle it, avoid the trust at all costs. All right, so there you go. So I hope you found this helpful. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. YouTube likes to see that. It helps grow my audience a little bit more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Reach out to me, John at Highball Advisors, if you have any questions. And in the meantime, everyone, please stay safe, stay on track, and take care. So long, everybody. Bye.